You cannot, the sidewalk is closed.
No, yeah. Rob, sir, can you go that way? Yes, thank you. Come off the bus and then you go this way.
sidewalk. I don't want you to get hit by a car, right? Yes, oh, yeah, no. Fuck that. We have another roll. I'm in my car over where you are. Just stay there for a minute. All right. Hey! Rita. Guys, you're gonna have to get back. Sir, you're gonna have to get back on the sidewalk. Guys, you're just gonna have to get back onto the sidewalk. Hey! What's up, 4004? Whose car is that? Steve, let me see your keys.
Yeah, well, every cop is different. Every cop is different. There's another cop that's different. The detectives came over and said, you'll stay here.
I have some stuff from inside that I can feed back if you want. Your cap when you do what you do.
Well, that is just some grace that.
Sure. That way, dude. Take the gold change and go each time, all right? My truck's all the way on 9th.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't hear anything now, so. Let's go. Oh, God. Yes. They had been live for a long time.
Hi, I got you.
No, well, yeah, but I've been here for an hour.
Turn down the right channel and brake. And Jeff, can you repeat yourself?
And you can see this is really ground zero where it's happening. You're looking down right there at the intersection of 8th Avenue and 42nd Street right there, and you can see that all of the jackets you see there, that is all police department activity. Those are officials that are in that area. Once you get a block away, even 2 blocks away, you're seeing more pedestrian traffic. So it seems like they're trying to shut down the initial area, but they're kind of fanning it out from ground zero there at the actual point of 8th Avenue and 42nd Street. That is all just police department activity, and you can see why they've shut down the entire area. They're trying to shut down streets throughout the area. You can see top of your screen and bottom of the screen, they're allowing through traffic through. So that would be 43rd Street and 41st Street, but they're trying to keep 42nd itself closed for all that emergency activity.
All right. Well, thank you for that visual, Shannon. In the meantime, we do have Michelle Charlesworth, who was just with me on the morning show, but she's out there on the scene right now, and she's joining us now on the phone. Michelle.
Joe Loda, you might be
able to see him. Can you tell us the latest?
Michelle, can you hear us?
I can hear you perfectly. I'm trying to
Awesome. Okay.
How many people hurt?
They begin their investigation.
Cabs we're being pushed back right now. I have to carry a camera in my purse. Couldn't get a cab. Streets are all closed off here from 8 to 7th. I'm standing right in front of Port
Authority building, and then they have a lot of the crowds.
It appears we might have lost. There we go. We hear you
Get
again,
over here.
Michelle.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you now.
How many people are hurt? Can you tell me how many people are hurt, please? Excuse me, I'm trying to get information. How many people hurt? So the police are still moving me right now.
Yeah, it's a rough situation out there. We do have Michelle on the scene. She's going to work the situation and try to get us information. As soon as we can get her back, we will get her back. In the meantime, we do have Heather Heather, lots of shutdowns. And as Shannon was saying, emergency personnel having a hard time getting to that area because it's so gridlocked.
Yeah, well, you can just imagine how the streets of Manhattan are during rush hour, as it is already, with a lot of gridlock situations. So this is just going to make things worse. And what's the best thing for everybody to do is stay put. Try not to commute into Manhattan via car, especially now. If you normally take the subways, you're going to find a ton of suspensions. 1, 2, 3, NQ, W, 7 trains. They're all bypassing Times Square, 42nd Street. AC and E trains are bypassing 42nd and Port Authority. There are no S trains, so the shuttle is completely suspended in both directions. B trains, they are suspended between Bedford Park Boulevard and Brighton Beach. E trains are stopping along the F trains, 36th Street to West 4th Street. 8th Avenue Uptown. You were hearing Michelle saying that all these streets are closed down, so for her to get down there was basically impossible. You can see Shannon Stone is up in Newscopter 7. She's pointing out 8th Avenue and 9th. You can see that we do have closures all along 8th Avenue, especially from 34th Street to 42nd Street. Looks like the Port Authority bus terminal. I can see some of the cars coming, or some of the buses coming down the ramp and going into the ramp as well, going into the Port Authority bus terminal. However, you cannot access that from 8th Avenue. So this is going to be a big trouble spot. Also, you have to think about Lincoln Tunnel drivers, because people trying to get into the city could get tied up in all that gridlock condition. So you want to do yourself a huge favor, not even think about commuting into Manhattan at this point until the police can clear the scene. Now, we also have no traffic turning onto 8th Avenue, of course. 7th Avenue, you're going to find closures and avoid all those cross streets. It is just going to be a mess as far as commuters are concerned. You definitely want to save yourself those headaches. New Jersey Transit riders are going to go into Penn Station, but just think about what's going to happen once you get out of Penn Station. What if you normally catch a cab? Cabs getting around the city, that's going to be virtually impossible with these gridlock conditions. And then in addition to that, with so many subway systems being suspended and bypassing. So again, if you haven't left your home yet, just stay home until we do have full clearance. You can see these pictures from Shannon. I mean, that is just a complete closure of that street. So you want to avoid it if you can. I'm going to assume that that's 8th Avenue or 7th Avenue that Shannon is trying to show us now. So again, so many subway systems are suspended. So many streets are closed down. So stay put. Don't even think about commuting into Manhattan at this point. Shirlene, I'm going to send it back over to you.
Heather, we can't say it enough. If you're just waking up this morning and you're learning the news and you need to be in this area for whatever reason, please avoid it at all costs. Emergency personnel needs to get there. This investigation is still happening as we speak. Lots to investigate here. We do have one person in custody as a result of this breaking news, an explosion below ground at Port Authority. One person in custody, only a few injuries we're reporting still. Of course, we're going to keep you updated on that. Shannon Stone is standing by for us at the very latest. Shannon.
Yeah, and we have moved positions so that you can have a different vantage point on things. And I'm just gonna ask Captain Arthur Anderson to come a little bit to the south so we can look down one of these streets for you here. But we want to basically show you from the riverside what it looks like on your cross streets going east to west across the city, because this is what you're finding. Every single road, and I'm going to bring the Street Spotter 7 again, just so that you have an idea. That is 8th Avenue that you were looking at left to right across your screen. So what we're finding is that there are traffic being stopped everywhere leading into 8th Avenue. If you are on 8th Avenue itself, you can expect it to be completely shut down between 34th and 42nd Street. But 42nd Street itself, that closure is in place at 8th Avenue as well, and we are expecting these closure units to expand instead of getting smaller. So I'm just going to bring the shot down a little bit more for you.
seconds. We'll be all right.
Hold on.
Here we go. I'm good. I'm good.
You're going to see Chelsea's camera in the shot. It's up to the microphone right now.
Here, we can go this way.
All right, we're ready to go. Take me.
You want to move forward a little?
They're going to take us to the section.
area is observed, alert law enforcement via fire distress operation. As soon as possible, unassigned units shall review the following procedures: fire tactics and procedures, emergency response plan addendum 3, operations at explosive, incendiary, and active shooter incidents. Fire officers are reminded to have all their RA protection equipment turned on and operating during any response. Signed, Chief of Operations John Sudnick. Signal 652 has been transmitted. Stand by for department message. Signal 652 has been transmitted. Message is as follows. All units are advised that SDNY units are currently operating at Manhattan Box 7163, located at 42th Street, Port Authority Bus Terminal, for reported of an explosion. All units will use caution and maintain heightened situational awareness while responding, operating, and returning to all alarms. If something out of the ordinary is observed, alert law enforcement via fire dispatch operations. As soon as possible, unassigned units shall review the following procedures: fire tactics and procedures, emergency response plan addendum 3, operations at explosive, incendiary, and active shooter incidents. Fire officers are reminded to have their RAV protection equipment turned on and operating during any response. Signed, Chief of Operations John Sudnick. Time now 0828 hours, approximately 4-1.
To have their RAD detector equipment turned on and operating during any response. Signed, John Sudnick, Chief of Operations. Stand by for a repeat. Signal 652 has been transmitted, and the message is as follows. All units are advised that FDNY units are currently operating in Manhattan Box 7163, located at 42th Street, Port Authority Bus Terminal, for a report of an explosion. All units will use caution and maintain heightened situational awareness while responding, operating, and returning from all alarms. If something out of the ordinary is observed, alert law enforcement via fire dispatch operations. As soon as possible, unassigned units shall review the following procedures: fire tactics and procedures, emergency response plan addendum 3, operations at explosive, incendiary, and active shooter incidents. Fire officers are reminded to have their RAD detection equipment turned on and operating during any response. Signed, John Sudnick, Chief of Operations.
Battalion 52, active battalion is on your frequency. We're on the 59th Street Bridge.
Well, Battalion 52, active battalion.
Operating during any response. Signed, Chief of Operations John Cook. Time is 8:22, dispatch 233. For a report of an explosion, all units will use caution and maintain heightened situational awareness while responding, operating, and returning from all alarms. Something out of the ordinary is observed. Alert law enforcement via fire dispatch operations ASAP. Unassigned units shall review the following procedures: fire tactics and procedures, emergency response plan addendum 3, operations at explosive, incendiary, and active shooter incidents. Fire officers are reminded to have their RAD detection equipment turned on and operating during any response. Stand by for Signal 652 is transmitted. Stand by for an alarm message. All units are advised that FDNY units are currently operating at Manhattan Box 7163, located at 42nd Street, Port Authority Bus Terminal, for a report of an explosion. All units do caution and maintain heightened situational awareness while responding, operating, and returning from all alarms. Something out of ordinary deserves alert law enforcement via fire dispatch operations ASAP. Unassigned units shall receive the following procedures: fire tactics procedures, emergency response plan, and dead facilities. Operations at explosive, incendiary, and active shooter incidents. Fire officers are reminded to have their RAD detection equipment turned on and operating during any response. Assigned Chief Operations John Sutton. Police support the top citywide for response.
Make it a 33-2K. Alright, 10-4-1-5, you got that? 1-5, next to receive with an 8. 825, switch to 36. Signal 652 has been transmitted. Unit standby for the front side. Signal 652 has been transmitted. Message is as follows. All units are advised that SDNY units are currently operating at Manhattan Box 7163, located at 42th Street, the Port Authority Bus Terminal, for a report of an explosion. All units will use caution and maintain heightened situational awareness while responding, operating, and returning from all alarms. If something out of the ordinary is observed, alert law enforcement via fire dispatch operations as soon as possible. Unassigned units shall review the following procedures: fire tactics and procedures, emergency response plans, and addendum 3, operations at explosive, incendiary, and active shooter incidents. Fire officers are reminded to have their RAD detection equipment turned on and operating during any response. Signed, Chief of Operations John Sutton.
But it seems to be, we are learning that one suspect is being detained as a result of this. The mayor, the president, all been briefed about this.
Signal 652 has been transmitted. Messages as follows. All units are advised that FDNY units are currently operating at Manhattan Box 7163, located at 42th Street, the Port Authority Bus Terminal, for a report of an explosion. All units will use caution and maintain heightened situational awareness while responding, operating, and returning from all alarms. If something out of the ordinary is observed, alert law enforcement via fire dispatch operations as soon as possible. Unassigned units shall review the following procedures: fire tactics and procedures, emergency response plans, addendum 3, operations at explosive, incendiary, and active shooter incidents. Fire officers are reminded to have their RAD detection equipment turned on and operating during any response. Signed, Chief of Operations John Sutton. Time 0827, dispatcher 370.
all
933K.
Box 3247, this building's locked up tight. There's no indications. We'll still check that out. Can you see if the valve is reset from your end, K?
At 10-4, stand by. We'll check back with the lock. Ladder 146 to Brooklyn.
There he is. Can you slide? Can you slide right? Can you slide right? As quickly as you can. He's in the. He's going to the back of the building. The section of the building that's on the north. Keep going. Back a little bit. Back a little bit. All right. Keep going in this direction. And see if you can swing to the other side of the building quickly, because I can't see underneath that thing. So do the best you can. Keep going. Keep going.
Ladder 146, action ladder 115.
Okay, now this way.
Ladder 146, is on your first.
10-4. Away 34 hours, plus 341.
All right, start slowing down. Slow down.
Elevator, ladder 9.
It's going to come in review into here. It's going to be under that overhang, so I doubt we're going to be able to see much.
1040 code show mark 697. 1040 code show mark 697. Adios, time.
Okay. Are we hot? Is our shot hot right now? Okay. All right, watch that building there on the left of the screen, but Penny.
Manhattan engine 5-4. Manhattan calling engine 5-4. Manhattan the ladder 2-4. Ladder 2-4. Ladder 2-4, you go 10-8. Ladder 2-4, 10-4, 10-8. Manhattan to rack 1. Manhattan to rack 1. Rack 1. Rack 1, you go 10-8. Rack 1, 10-4, 10-8. Manhattan calling engine 5-4. I'm away 36, back to 370.
Class 3 box 5078 for 109-35178 Street, between 110 Avenue and the dead end for North America.
Don't lose your job.
Use a 1018 for 1025 code 3. We have the
Yes.
area roped off.
All right, back to where we were originally.
2803, Tracy. 2803.
Thank you, Kenny. That was good.
0837 hours this section. Engine 3. We're responding from the east side, 29th Street, so it'll be delayed. 10-4. Other unit? Engine 5-4, 5-4, you can go 10-8. Engine 5-4 with 10-8. 10-4, you can go 10-8,
Not yet.
remain in service.
All right.
5-4, 10-4.
Okay. Maybe turn the heat down a little bit now. That's good. Aren't you hot? There you go.
Not Battalion 1.
Battalion 1.
Battalion 1, we make your box date 1031, everybody.
Yeah.
Battalion 1, 10-4, 10.
That's so you.
Fox 354,
Starting with your black clothes, right? Like into the
1031 remaining.
That's what you'll do, right?
Yeah. That will be me.
Engine 33. 33, 10. 5-5.
Yeah,
5-5. 5-5, 1031 remaining 7. 5-5, 10-4. Engine 3.
Like it when I
3-10-14. Lap 2-0.
CB clear south.
Manhattan ladder 9.
Usually the mayor will go there and like have the scene and make a statement.
Ladder 8, actually ladder 2-4 to Manhattan. Ladder 8, you can return home, okay? Ladder 8, 10-4.
Darren, you were so excited.
I'm away 37 dispatch 370.
There he's like, I'm sure there goes the mayor. That's the mayor's going in there.
I'm sure like there's a lot of kids that didn't make it, right?
That's the woman, Jamie said that she'd gotten several calls already and they were aware of it. So they know. I said to get in there as soon as you could, but we weren't sure.
That's like you bring your brain on like
You're coming forward a little bit.
Couple CBS crews.
PABT. Oratory.
And this is as close as you're going to get. Before going to get my location with a live here. What is the latest on what happened? Just that the one device and they caught the guy?
when she's acting happy.
Third 17.
On 5078, we'll go with an 18 versus 35. They're trying to get the panel reset. If not, they're going to use it offline.
Alright, continue, I don't know.
Negative. What's the name?
Back over received.
5-4. 10-4 will be 10-8.
1035 5078, 1035 5078.
And that Frank Ribbon who's supposed to work for
I think that's why probably the mayor's going to make a statement.
It's in front of Port Authority.
Usually the mayor, and once it's clear, the mayor and the police chief will go down and they'll call it up for a moment to statement. Where this guy came from. Not any clue, or just like
Like the police were just in the vicinity of blocking just the train.
I'm trying to confirm that the west side highway is closed.
They're like putting those
Doesn't look closed to me.
those are 430 workers. Or traffic.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not with Morgan. Okay, that's great. Okay, then we'll do it.
Charlene, I'm here at the corner of 42nd and 8th, right here. Massive,
Yeah, we're up on 56. I have my now 168.
one less. Another one definitely had.
See, I just showed the FBI agents coming out of the subway.
For another possible.
How did the shot look?
Suspected perpetrator.
This is going crazy. Look at that.
And telephone all box 1770, address 590 Washington Avenue. West 25 to West 27th Street, fire on the 5th floor. And telephone all box 1770, address 590 Washington Avenue, West 25 to West 27th Street, fire on the 5th floor.
Alright, so you're in touch with her cell phone. I don't have it. I'm using both my phones that I'm doing now.
Time 084 traffic 370. Get your 16 White building is. Do you have anything that was fixed that we're going over to the admin building, the administration building? Sign out to engine 163K.
So trips and faults, minor injuries.
On the side, we don't have a building. We can try checking back with the alarm company, K. Yes, and it's letting us know that the alarm's going off in the administration building. We're headed over to investigate with 83. And 4K. Sign out to engine 164, you calling, K?
Yeah. He had a vest. And some wires and a vest and the pipe bomb. We don't know if where he's from. I don't think the bomb did a lot of damage, so. But we don't know if there's another person. You know, that's why we have to be careful.
Don't go too far forward, Kenny. Don't go too far forward.
They're trying to clear everything out, make sure there's no other people around doing anything bad.
3623, terminal to Rayfield, 367 Claremont Avenue, Lafayette Avenue, Green Avenue, automatic alarm.
Attention ladder 2, rescue 5, respond.
They have the suspect at the hospital.
446, location Wolverine Street and Amboy Road. For motor vehicle accident, possible trap. Ladder 82. 82 responding. 10-4, send out to rescue 5. Company 5 responding. Send out telephone alarm box 446, location Wolverine Street and Amboy Road. Motor vehicle accident, possible trap. Time is 0846 hours, dispatching the 7.
Relax for a little while, and we'll figure out what's going on in an hour or so.
to Manhattan. 913. You have a 10-7 for dispatch. We received it from TV requesting for a fire on the 5th floor. 913, 10-4. Telephone box 112. Address 389 East 89th Street, First and Second Avenue, for an alarm activation 7 Charles. And telephone alarm box 118. Address 389 East 89th Street, First and Second Avenue, for an alarm activation 7 Charles. I'm 0849, that's 379.
Yeah, it was on Twitter faster. Well, that makes sense.
Are you still operating or you have a signal for it?
130 go 1030 while you show us 1080.
No, I don't see them.
0849 Allen, that's personal one.
Engine 160.
Box 113 to 1091, correct?
And 4K.
All right, 1040, MDT's not taking it with 1080.
Time is 0849 hours, touch the system. More than one, the red band, this thing on it.
0849 Allen, that's 641.
163 Boston Road, 180 Street, the
Yeah.
box south.
This is a-
Fire the contact. Bowles and 2 Johns. Phone alarm box 3140 2123 Boston Road, 180 Street, the Bronx box south. Fire the compact and Coles and 2
That's
Johns.
crazy.
850 dispatch.
They're closing all the streets.
You're not letting anybody to my location.
I saw that helicopter right there, right here. Yeah. Hello. Yeah, but the traffic on 9th Avenue is going. Yeah. Thank you. So the L train that goes to Brooklyn is closed.
10-4, we're going to go 10-8K.
10-4, 1035 on box 1776.
All right.
5 on box 1776. Any other dimension 163. Time is 08, 5 hours, dispatch to 7.
There's not that much traffic.
Once you get down a little ways, things can go over here.
2-3 to Staten Island.
But still.
Battalion 2-3K.
Box 2446, stay with an 18. There is no
Thank
pin.
you.
I'll get back to you with injuries. Just have EMS and PD continuing case.
I mean, that's very alarming to do.
Rescue Company 510-8.
Time is 08, 5 hours, dispatch to 7.
Look out, that woman's right down there in front of the TV bank.
Box engine 73K.
Oh yeah, I see her.
Get a report of somebody
Yeah.
ticket.
Alright.
Battalion 3.
Look where she is.
Box of Battalion 3K. Battalion 3. Battalion 3, get a report of someone being sick. We notify the image. Simple. 853 dispatch today.
Yeah, I definitely see her.
Ladder 6-1, K. Ladder 6-1. Can you call this office? Can you repeat that, Jay?
Yeah.
Yeah, 10-4. Can you call this office? Ladder 6-1, 10-4. Result date 5-4 hours inspection. Ladder 4, AK.
Oh, there's
48 will make the box a 1031.
so many police.
Ladder 4, 55 inspection.
This is crazy.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shannon. We do have Kimberly and Michelle. We got you on TV.
EMS box 9372. We have EMS on this box. We have one patient complaining of chest pain. It's a car accident.
10-4 PD and EMS have both been notified.
Ever since the suspect who apparently was strip searched for a second incendiary device, possibly. None was found, as far as we understand.
0855 Allen, suspect 41.
286. We had a 679 on 6th Avenue. 20 Street to 19 Street, auto gas first floor. Phone follow box 1286 for the address 679 on 6th Avenue. 20 Street, 19 Street, auto gas first floor. 280. Class 3 box 599, the town was 1, the address 1440 Chevrolet Expressway. Westchester Avenue, Jennings Street. Say Class J, the Hotel Sheridan. Class 3 box 2599, the town was 1, the address 1440 Sheridan Expressway. Westchester Avenue to Jennings Street. The Class J is the Hotel Sheridan. 857 is Fetching, 33. 57K. Box 3140, we need 202 in the red fast for a fire in the compactor closet. Use the size of the bed persists. We have one line stretch at a time, not operation. Alright, next one. The vehicles, we have 3 injuries, 2 vehicle accidents. 162 and 82 will probably be operating for a few more minutes, okay? Battalion 23 is going to be in the process. We'll be 10-8.
Battalion 23, 10-4. 1036, code 3 on box 2446. 1036, code 3 on box 2446. By the others is the 2-3 battalion. The time is 0857 hours, dispatch 270.
But this is the situation here.
Backpacks back for got it. And one injury is the
You're absolutely right. And Michelle, we're getting some information updated now. There's actually 3 injuries in total.
and I got
340 cops. Took the suspect into custody.
We don't know if
They
it's backpack vest
were injured. One
957.
hospital.
Yes.
2 civilians.
Go first floor.
Not
1026, 611, 1026, 611. We're going to Battalion 57. 08, 58 hours, dispatcher 288.
Yes, we can hear me clearly.
He does live in Brooklyn, so obviously we're going to find out some more information about him. severely injured. So, you know, we're going to keep an eye on that to see if he survives. But let's go back to information on the suspect behind that pipe bomb explosion. 3 injuries in total as a result of this. Let's head up to Shannon's zone. Being told she's in stop 7. Another update for us. Shannon.
Yes, Shirley, and we are up here looking down at the scene. And as you mentioned, we had a number of injuries. They are all minor in nature. As Michelle was mentioning, they've got all of their surveillance devices. They have completely shut down here. This is the Hollywood activity at the intersection with 42nd Street. But we've been telling you all along that there's some major closures are in this area. But keep in mind that there are several areas that are subject to closure as they continue with the emergency response. Most of those will quiet down as the evening goes on and as the morning goes on. But we just told you that 12th Avenue is subject to closure between 57th and 32nd Street. And that is an example I want to give you. I'm actually going to slide the camera around to that area to show you what I mean. They have these areas subject to closure so that the emergency response is coming in and do what they need to do. When you're looking down here at 12th Avenue on the west side, you can see that there are a lot of traffic through right now. That doesn't mean that it
you are exactly right. As you can imagine, this area was flooded 3 kilometers earlier this morning when this happened. Right now, it is flooded with law enforcement. Multiple agencies have arrived here. The bomb squad will send another vehicle here. Multiple police agencies from state police, local police, the critical response group has arrived. The mayor just arrived a little while ago. And I can say, Stephanie, that we are very lucky that there weren't more injuries here at the Port. This is a very
Wait, 10-8, our own response area.
thousands of people coming here through here this morning at rush hour. More police are arriving as we speak. They are still surveying the scene
0901 Alex,
downstairs.
West 341.
Multiple FBI agents come up to downstairs and other state police go down there. So they're still investigating. Many police officers from multiple agencies are here.
I'm glad it's been put.
We're just very lucky. There's only one injury, and that's the person with the device. We don't know who the bell. Stephanie, you are exactly right. Some of those details areas are not flooded. We could have been earlier this morning when this happened. Right now, it is flooded with law enforcement. Multiple agencies have arrived here. The bomb squad just sent another vehicle here. Multiple police agencies from state police, local police, the critical response group has arrived. The mayor just arrived.
That's Ranger 159,
And I can say, Stephanie, that we are very lucky that there weren't more injuries here at the Port Authority. As you know, this is a very busy community.
I'm in zone 901 hours, special
Through here this morning at rush hour, more police are arriving as we speak. They are still surveying the scene downstairs. We just saw multiple FBI agents come up from downstairs and other state police go down there. So they're still investigating.
157K.
Multiple agencies are here.
Cut it responds. We have secondary wires to 143 Harrison Avenue that are down. And can you also special call the truck, ladder 80? 10. Time is 0902 hours. Inspection Your all units will go 10-8 when available.
10-18, 1033, the code is 21286. 10-18, 1033, code 21286, Fox by the way, die. Class 3, Brooklyn Block 623, the terminal is 3. 367 Claremont Avenue, Victor Blockley. Boarding program. Automatic alarm. Class 3, 623, terminal is 3, Victor Blockley. 367 Claremont Avenue. Between Lafayette and Green Avenue, full automatic alarm.
Learning that he is Bangladeshi. He came to this country 7 years ago. But what we are also hearing is that while he is
1057.
Contact reports 1 hour ETA, okay?
10-4, okay.
Time is 09, all 3 hours, dispatch is 7.
Forward time.
Oh, 905 hours, 341.
Box 3140 at top, all visible fires been extinguished, no extension, and no cigarette searches in the public hallways at the time. Alright, 906, on the way, battalion. Battalion 118. I don't think Engine 1, are you at the EMF on PK?
So we're just waiting at this point. All of the streets completely closed down. Haven't seen anybody walking for a long time, for about an hour.
Engine 1 up.
This happened.
Engine 1 up. Engine 1, are you at the EMF on PK? Negative. We have nothing further. We have is across from 195 Broadway. The EMS is showing up. Engine 1, 010-4. Time 0907, dispatch 370. Just a walk up of Times Square, 42nd and 8th As soon as we get any information on this news conference, we will get to you.
Thank you, Michelle. As the city tries to move forward after literally being shut down, quite some chaos in the Times Square area. We are trying to get you around this as well. We do have Heather.
1-8, Kate.
Standing by.
Box 3041, we have an additional fire and compactor room to the address 1013 East 180 Street.
Where the massive delays.
All right, 10-4.
We are seeing that just below Central Park and right near where the Lincoln Tunnel is. It's all red. Cross streets are completely red. That means that they are jam-packed with traffic. So
Bronx 118, Kate. Battalion 118. The SID doesn't have the height of the building. Can you give us the height of the building?
You heard what Michelle was saying. There's barely any people in that area.
10-4, stand by.
Into that area. So no cars are allowed to exit from the FDR Drive from 59th Street to 42nd Street. So I'm getting some texts from friends.
All right, units in the box 3137. We're going to make your box to 1031. 1031, 3137. All units can go 10-8. Engine 46. 46, 10-4. Engine 82. 2, 10-4. Engine 42.
So you're not safe there either.
Engine 42, 10-4. Ladder 41.
3rd Street, 42nd Street, closed down, river to river. 57th Street.
Ladder 31. 41, you can go 10-8, 1031.
Between 9th and 8th
31, 10-4, 10-8, 10-31.
Rider 3174, 10-8.
19.
19, 10-4 with 10-8, Jake.
Should be a 6-story 150 by 125, a regular class 3. All right, 10-4. Rock to the 1-8 battalion. 1-8, we're also getting 2114 Brian. 2114 Brian on beat 180. Getting smoke for George. Correction, 6 George. 6 George for smoke.
10-4, we have members also checking that out. I'll get that report you soon.
All right, 10-4. 911 dispatch 233.
You respond to box 2112.
Injuries has moved to 4 injuries. We believe the suspect is one of those 4. The suspect we're learning more and more about. A man who was in his 20s. He lives in Brooklyn, from Bangladesh, came to this country 7 years ago. We're hoping he survives what we're told is a severe injury. He's at Bellevue Hospital right now. Lots of questions for him as this investigation continues, as they continue to sweep that general area of Times Square Port Authority for any secondary devices, just as protocol and just what is part of the investigation. We want to go back to the chopper. Shannon, she was just reporting for us. We're going to send it back to you, Shannon.
And Shirley, we continue to monitor the situation from high above the city here. You're looking down at the intersection of 42nd Street and 4th Avenue. Now, we mentioned that a lot of the secondary closures were going to come into place. Heather just went down an entire list of closures throughout the city, but the reason for some of them getting further away was to allow the emergency crews to get to where they needed to be. So some of the closures have had to change. We mentioned that 12th Avenue shut down between 57th and 42nd Street, or at least is subject to closure. It appears that that is no longer subject to closure. In addition, we're two of the streets that go east and west across the city, 14th, 23rd, and 24th Street, they were all subject to closure as well to allow the emergency crews to get into the scene. They have since been reopened. What is not going to change, and likely not going to change anytime soon, you've got those closures on the FDR Drive, not letting people exit off, and that moving 59th Street down to 42nd Street. That will only stay in place because they're trying to alleviate environmental conditions that are sure to rise over this area. Now, keep in mind, think of the perfect traffic storm that happened today. There was an incendiary device inside a subway station at a major bus terminal where the emergency crews had to respond from the ground and from street level. So this effectively took out so many means of transportation throughout the city on a Monday morning, right in the heat of the rush hour, and that is why this is going to be so bad for traffic now. As we mentioned, Pepperwood has been on the ground really in the edge of the hub of the activity right on 42nd Street and 8th Avenue is where Michelle is.
There's a press
and she says everything is sort of quieted down. It seems like the emergency response has simmered down slightly now that they have the suspect in custody. They do not believe that there are any other devices in this scenario. So now it's just a matter of wrapping things up, seeing what damage is done, and searching for any other devices. Just as a precaution, they are doing all of they're checking off their boxes to make sure that they have the area secured before they're able to open it up. So secondary streets are starting to reopen and far away from the city. They're not seeing any roads being shut down. In fact, I'll point the camera out and show you the closure point because 8th Avenue is shut down at 34th Street, and that's also where we see a lot of pedestrian activity because all the pedestrians are being kept off the sidewalks circle we've been watching over the last hour or so. Bar some constant traffic through, but 8th Avenue itself, it's just a sea of police and fire connectivity. You've got the Guardian police there, you've got Fox Squad. So any activity you see on 8th Avenue is likely related to the response to this bomb that went off at 42nd Street and 8th Avenue inside the subway system. So what we need to know in terms of the subways is this is likely not going to change anytime soon either. What is being affected is that there are several lines Square Station that include the NQRSW 1, 2, 3, and 7 train. I think Heather said it best when she said there's only about 3 subways that are connected by this line. So with subways right now, the streets vehicles on the Midtown area and buses have departed at Guardian Street, transit buses now being picked up at Newark and Secaucus. And Catherine is going to bring you right into the middle of this chaos. We are expecting that these closures, especially in around 8th and 42nd Street, will be with us for several hours to come as police and emergency officials continue to do what they need to do. And again, we've got the bomb squad here, and now officials are on the scene as well, ascertaining exactly what happened. Somehow, miraculously, limited injuries being reported at this point.
Well, if they're doing it at 43rd,
one of them in the first place to the suspect
bring someone to 43rd?
here from Bangladesh 7 years ago. So of course he's in very bad shape at the hospital. Unclear if he's going to survive the injuries, but you can police trying to find out exactly what happened, why this happened. What is also unclear is whether or not this was the targeted area. So again, we really like to stay to the suspect and find out what the motivation was behind this attack. Miraculously, not very many injuries here. The worst part of this is to be recuperating from these massive closures through the area. They are truly massive. See, shut down this stretch of it's changed, and that's really understandable. 700 buildings have already reopened for 42nd Street. So that is the cues you're starting to see things kind of scale back.
Brian, respond to Brian Park now. Brian,
to get into the city. You've heard the try today. This is a it's very like this is a hub, especially during the holiday season. People are
they're gonna have
this is a terrible time for something like this to happen. All of those questions never been answered in days or hours, but right now it seems like that shut down. And all the sorts of just a so it's a really great day. Think of the number today or think of the city. This is the day to stay
Just get this guy out of here.
The timing
No, he's been here the whole time. Everyone will get a picture. Everyone will get
investigating this.
Leave sticks up
That was where's your mic? Other targets of the group. There are other areas that would be of concern for obviously that investigation.
He's been here the whole time.
We want to send it now out to
I can drop down. I mean, I don't want to get anybody's shot. I can drop.
Mac, where's your mic?
To give you an idea of what's going on, we are being escorted by police right now as we're talking live on television. Being escorted by police. News conference is going to take place just a few minutes down at 42nd and 7th Avenue. We were over at 42nd and 8th Avenue. I can tell you a lot of people out there, trying to get to work, trying to get places in the city. Very crowded. Very crowded now because so many evacuated areas. So 42nd Street is empty. We've got an awful lot of police officers. The place still lined with police. They also have canines. Go off. So far, they have not found anything. But that's what's going on here. You can see an awful lot of
Alright, just so you know, as per dispatch policy, the yield is for the bounty assignment.
morning until they find out exactly what happened.
Also, I never got a list of apartments. Send a radio on your list.
Get it
Yeah,
back.
10-4, we'll work on it.
Times Square, the building. 7 hours.
All right, Jim, you know, we're going to let you get to that news conference because we definitely want to get that live as it happens. I do have a little bit more background information as we wait for that news conference to begin. Background information on the suspect in particular. We're learning that he is 27 years old, lives in Brooklyn, originally from Bangladesh. He has been in the country for about 7 years. Now, in terms of today, he was found alive. He was transported to Bellevue Hospital. It appears that he was wearing some kind of a low-level explosive device. And that is when he was stripped of his clothing to have that device removed. Based on video recovered by investigators and other media, so far it looks like he was acting alone. Obviously, that is what police are investigating. They're investigating, trying to piece this together, trying to see if there are any ties to any terrorism networks. But for right now, it appears that he was acting alone. The suspect, one of 4 people who was injured as a result of this possible pipe bomb explosion at Port Authority, 42nd and 8th Avenue. This incident happening around 7:30 this morning at the height of the morning commute. So very frightening, but we are happy to report that there were very limited injuries. The President, the Attorney General have been briefed. The Mayor and the Governor, as we've been telling you, is about to start up a news conference in any moment now. And we have all of our reporters heading to that, all waiting for that, just to find out what other information can be shared. As we've been telling you, this entire city is pretty much shut down because of it. A lot of people not going into Manhattan, not going into work as a result. It's hard to get into the city. Shannon's been showing us what she can from the sky. Shannon.
Moved us from one to absolutely. And we're starting to take control of because the closures have changed in the last maybe 20 minutes or so. So I'm bringing the camera around to give you an idea of what we have in store for you. Avenue now, you can see traffic is now moving towards you, which is changed at 8th Avenue, shut down for 8th Avenue remains shut down at 30th Street. So you can see right here in front of Penn Station, this is where the sort of beef of the chaos happens. And people that are trying to route this area because they get to 30th Street and the cops are there telling you to go left or right because you're not going straight. The only vehicles that are moving straight through that are the emergency vehicles. Now this is what takes you all the way over to 42nd Street and to Columbus Circle. We're going to stop for you around 42nd Street to show you that this is where most of your police and fire department and bomb squad activity is. Port Authority is there, the fire department. EMS is less here now. As Michelle was mentioning, when this first happened, everybody responded. Police came, every ambulance they could spare came. Fortunately, we did not need many of those ambulances, very limited in terms of the injuries to civilians in the area. But this is where the hub of it is. This is where they are staging and getting everything ready. So 8th Avenue remains shut down for a very long stretch between Columbus Circle and 34th Street. But we're going to bring you over because we have heard some changes as well to the 9th Avenue side. And you can see that 9th Avenue, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got traffic flowing in on 9th Avenue through 42nd Street. So they're starting to scale back on the closures through the area. But despite the fact that some closures are happening, completely shut down, and a lot of your roads traffic shut down as well, the gridlock conditions remain throughout the area. And keep in mind, we've been learning a little bit about the suspect. We're starting to piece together information for the police and the bomb squad, for all the emergency responders to make sure that everyone is safe. This was an isolated incident, and that's something that they're going to take their time ascertaining. They have a protocol that they go through, and they're going to go through it step by step to make sure that there are no other incendiary devices in the area. And they also, this is surely something that you have touched on for quite some time, is that what was the targeted area? Was it in fact where it went off, and
was the timing significant? Obviously, this was all 7:30 this morning in the meat of the rush hour. It seems like it was time to do maximum damage, and yet only a few minor injuries here in after the holiday season. Was that significant? These are all questions that the police department has to figure out before they finally do. So even once these streets reopen, remember we've got closures on the subways as well. That the QRSW 1, 2, 3, and 7 lines, the shuttle service, the AC&E, all affected, all of them bypassing Times Square and the Port Authority bus terminal. But even once things get back to normal, you can obviously expect a heightened police presence, at least in Times Square and obviously throughout the subway system. Shirley, back to you.
Thank you for that, Shannon. Obviously, when something like this happens in such a main artery, a main transportation hub like Times Square, this affects everyone. Everyone is on high alert as a result of this. Even if this is just an isolated incident, this is not something that we need to be concerned about for possible future events. It's still something that everyone is concerned about. We just got information from Nassau County Executive Ed Mangano. He sent out a report saying Nassau County Police are monitoring the situation there and continue to intensify patrols to all areas of concern, constant contact with federal, state, and local authorities. So that is something from the Office of Nassau County Executive Ed Mangano. We do have a team of reporters on the scene. We want to send it out to, I'm being told Derek Waller is live there on the street for us. Derek?
Yeah, Shirley, good morning. We are standing on 42nd Street, a closed 42nd Street, as you can see. Cops all the way down. We're at 8th Avenue. You're looking east toward 7th Avenue, where there are a lot of police officers out here, obviously. And on the other corner by 8th Avenue, they're about to have a briefing. You can see there are a ton of media out here, reporters, cameras, because the police are supposed to hold a media briefing in just a few minutes. That is what we're getting ready for here right now. I can tell you that otherwise, besides this closed area, you go up to 7th Avenue, Broadway, it looks like another day in Manhattan. You have just crowded street people trying to get to work, trying to get about their business. Let's get underway here, excuse me. But yeah, outside this area, it's a pretty normal situation. People seem like they're trying to get back to their regular business. But right here at 42nd and 8th Avenue, this remains closed. That's obviously where the situation happened earlier this morning. We are awaiting police to brief us about exactly what's going on. That should be happening in a few minutes. But obviously, you can see the massive police presence out here and also the massive media presence. So we're going to stay out here and try to get some information. And bring you that. Go ahead.
Sorry.
34 injuries and
thousands of interesting, eerie quiet, the area that you're in right now, as opposed to the other side of the city that is, like nothing happened. You being able to kind of get a sense of that, it must be interesting.
Right now we're at 42nd and 8th Avenue. It's absolutely very interesting to see. We're coming in from New Jersey, obviously, if you're watching our show this morning, we're covering the breaking news over there. We had to make our way over here, which was a little hectic, but once we get out of the car, the streets were what you would normally expect on 7th Avenue on a Monday morning. Very busy, lots of people just trying to get to work. Once you walked over to 8th Avenue, and 42nd Street is where you saw kind of promotion and the streets blocked. But once you leave this immediate area, you may not realize exactly what's going on. So it's very interesting to see that. Obviously, you're looking at a live look at 8th Avenue right now at 42nd Street outside the Port Authority bus terminal, where there's heavy police presence. You can see the avenue is blocked to traffic, and we are waiting a press briefing shortly from police. Charlene?
Yep, and you are on the scene there, waiting to get the very latest from the mayor and the governor, who are planning to speak very shortly. Thank you for that, Derek. And as we continue to wait, because they are going to be speaking in any moment, and we're going to bring it to you live as soon as it does. But in the meantime, we are getting more information about this suspect slowly but surely. We now know his name. From what we have learned, his name is Ola Akayet. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Ola Akayet. His address, he has a Brooklyn address. We're seeing, it looks like 1689 East 48th Street in Brooklyn. His date of birth, 3/25/90, 27 years old. We are working on getting a photo of him shortly. And as we continue to wait for that, that is the very latest on the suspect, somebody who lives in Brooklyn, originally from Bangladesh, has been in this country, we've learned, for about 7 years. And as we've been telling you, he was alive when he was transported to Bellevue Hospital. He was wearing a low-level explosive device, and he had to be stripped of his clothing to remove that device. And he was injured severely as a result of it. He is one of 4 people who was injured. We believe that he is, of all of them, the most seriously injured. And we are closely watching his condition and hoping that he survives, because there are a lot of questions. But what we have learned so far, at least based on video recovered by investigators and other media, is that it appears he was acting alone, because that, obviously, in this investigation is what they want to know. Does he have any ties to any terrorism networks? What was his motivation? Why this timing? Why 7:30 in the morning? At Port Authority during the Christmas season. What was the motivation there? So lots and lots of questions. If you can just take a look at what's happening in terms of traffic, that is the big story that we're dealing with right now. We want to send it back to Heather.
Hi, Charlene. Yeah, we do have some changes that we're going to go over, and just some updates for you. Now, 12th Street, you heard Shannon Sohn saying this from the helicopter. 12th Street has been reopened. 14th, 23rd, 34th Streets also have been reopened. But the FDR Drive, cars are still not allowed to exit from 59th Street to 42nd Street. You have Midtown closures in place, 7th to 9th Avenue, 45th to 40th Streets. New Jersey Transit buses to and from Port Authority will divert to Secaucus and Newark Penn for rail service into New York. And then the exclusive bus lane that takes you into the Lincoln Tunnel, it's now closed because of police activity as well. So bus route 126, there's no bus route 126. All Hoboken customers will be taken to Hoboken Terminal for service on path and ferry service, and New York Waterways cross honoring New Jersey Transit bus tickets. Now, as far as our subways, we've been telling you about this all morning long. 1, 2, 3, NQR, W and 7 trains, they're bypassing Times Square, 42nd Street. A and E trains are bypassing 42nd Street Port Authority bus terminal. And there is no shuttle service, the S train, the S shuttle, that is suspended in both directions. No B train service between Bedford Park Boulevard and Brighton Beach. No C train service between Euclid Avenue and 168th Street. E trains are bypassing along the F line. They're stopping along the F line, rather, between Jackson Heights, Roosevelt Avenue, and West 4th Street, Washington Street. Some northbound F trains are stopping along the Q line, or the G line, rather, from Bergen Street to Port Street. Then on the E line, Jackson, Roosevelt Avenue. L train service between 8th and 6th. There is no L train service. M trains are not running between Delancey, Essex Street, Forest Hill, 71st Street. So these changes are all because of this ongoing police activity in Times Square. Queens Midtown Tunnel, as you come inbound, there is one lane closed down. So they're keeping that one lane closed down. I am assuming, I'm venturing to guess that one lane is closed down to allow for emergency vehicles to come into Manhattan. 8th Avenue, we heard Shannon saying this, Columbus Circle to 34th Street, and that is closed down. We're also, I just got some news that the bus terminal has been reopened, so that is some good news for us. That could relieve some pressure for commuters. Buses are being rerouted. New Jersey Transit buses rerouted to 10th and 40th, and then we have New Jersey Transit buses rerouted to Newark and Secaucus. Path, Hoboken to 33rd, and Journal Square to 33rd. You also have a delay there as well. So that bus terminal, we're hearing just the upper level has been reopened on the Port Authority bus terminal. But again, as far as trying to drive into Manhattan, not a great idea. Once you get into Manhattan, if your plan is to commute to Midtown, it's going to be virtually impossible to get there via subway, via cab. The buses are all rerouted. We do have lots of buses rerouted as a result of that. So just keep that one in mind. If you're thinking you can try to get around this, it may not be possible. You may find yourself tangled up in a lot of traffic nightmares at this point. Charlene,
all right,
back over
Heather,
to you.
Thank you for that update. Again, we continue to wait for a briefing from police, the mayor, the governor with the very latest on this incident. But again, this happened at 7:30 in the morning. A possible pipe bomb explosion at Port Authority, 42nd and 8th Avenue at the height of the morning commute. Very, very frightening timing. This is during the Christmas season. If we can just stop and think about the people who were there in that moment, within that vicinity, how frightening it must have been for them. We're waiting to try to get people who were in that area. We did hear from one woman who said, quote, "If I didn't believe in God, I believe in God today." She is a woman who was within the area. She heard the bang, saw the smoke, and she ran. So complete chaos this morning, and now this is the scene as we take a look from high above. Very quiet now, fortunately. One of 4 people injured was that suspect who is in the hospital still as we speak. We want to get the very latest on that. Let's send it out to Candace McCowan, who is on the scene. Candace.
Yeah, we are here in front of Bellevue Hospital. It's quite an intense scene here. They have heavy security here on hand. Let me show you the front of the hospital. But also, if you look down the side entrance, once this ambulance moves here, you can see the heavy amount of NYPD officers that are here. We saw many of these officers responding. This is typically an open entrance, but you see an officer guarding it. They're not letting many vehicles down there unless they're absolutely necessary at this time. But obviously, heavy security. They're also preventing anyone from parking in front of the hospital right now. Again, this is where we know that 27-year-old suspect was taken, that he lives in Brooklyn. Again, like you've been saying, originally from Bangladesh. He's been in the country for about 7 years, and he was alive when he was transported here to Bellevue Hospital. We understand he was wearing that low-level explosive device and was stripped of his clothes to remove it before he was brought here to the hospital. Again, they're saying non-life-threatening injuries, but they have heavy security here in front of Bellevue Hospital right now at this time as they try to work the situation and try to keep the security tight here.
Okay, Candace, sorry to interrupt you. That news conference we've been waiting for is about to begin right now. The police commissioner there, you see the governor, you see the mayor. Let's listen in.
All right, good morning. Approximately 7:20 this morning, we had a terror-related incident in the subway in the passageway between 42nd and 8th and 42nd and 7th. The governor's going to speak, the mayor's going to speak. I'm going to give you some more details. Dan Nigro is going to talk about some of the minor injuries, and then Joe Loda is going to talk about subway service. Governor?
Thank you. Good morning to everyone. Thank you. Good morning to everyone. Very
Board 941, the box 7359. Transit doesn't have anything. Try the 10-7, unable, go straight to voicemail. Sorry, 7-4, order 1092. 1092, 7359, 1092, 7359. What's the time? 0937 hours.
Initial expectation is that did a fantastic job. You had a number of the NYPD, the PAPD, the Port Authority Police, the MTA Police. They were all on it. Behind us. Representatives of all the agencies coordinated. Representatives of all the director of the FBI coordinated. Sweeney is here. So everyone worked together. There was an explosion. So everyone worked together to avoid the details. It was a minor, it was an effectively low-tech device. There were several injuries, we hope minor. There were several, and it was handled extraordinarily well. There was a disruption in train service and bus service while everyone week was being done. While that's all being restored now, is right on Joe Loda. That's all being restored. Subway station about a bomb in the subway station, which is in many ways one of our worst nightmares. The reality turns out better than the initial expectation and fear. You had a number of law enforcement agencies that did a fantastic job. The NYPD, the PAPD, the Port Authority Police, the MTA Police, they were all on it. You see behind us representatives of all the agencies coordinated. The Assistant Director of the FBI, Bill Sweeney, is here.
942K.
So everyone worked together. There was an explosion.
1 and 2 for
Commissioner
1026.
will go over the details. It was a minor, it was an effectively low-tech device. There were several injuries, we hope minor. And it was handled extraordinarily well. There was a disruption in train service and bus service while a sweep was being done. That's all being restored now.
Code 1, financial grid.
The subway station, subway service, except at 42nd Street, is being restored. The Port Authority bus terminal is reopened, so buses will be running once again. This is New York. The reality is that we are a target by many who would like to make a statement against democracy, against freedom. We have the Statue of Liberty in our harbor, and that makes us an international target. We understand that. With the internet now, anyone can go on the internet and download garbage and vileness on how to put together an amateur-level explosive device. And that is the reality that we live with. The counter-reality is that this is New York, and we all pitch together, and we are a savvy people, and we keep our eyes open, and that's what See Something, Say Something is all about. And we have the best law enforcement on the globe, and we're all working together extraordinarily well. I want to thank the mayor and the mayor's office for doing a great job this morning. And we will go forward, and we'll go forward together. All the service will resume. Let's go back to work. We're not going to allow them to disrupt us. That's exactly what they want. And that is exactly what they're not going to get. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Governor. Let's be clear, as New Yorkers, our lives revolve around the subways. When we hear of an attack in the subway, it's incredibly unsettling. And let's be also clear, this was an attempted terrorist attack. Thank God the perpetrator did not achieve his ultimate goals. Thank God our first responders were there so quickly to address the situation, to make sure people were safe. Thank God the only injuries we know at this point.
207K.
But I agree 100% with the governor's point.
ETA for EMS on box 426.
We're a beacon to the world, and we actually show that a society of many faiths and many backgrounds can work, and we show that democracy can work.
207, they were signed 5 minutes ago.
Want to undermine that. The terrorists want to undermine that, so they yearn to attack New York City. When New York City is blessed with the finest law enforcement, and what our first responders did today was another example of the ability to address a situation quickly, contain it, and make sure people are safe. Let me just say, it's very important for my fellow New Yorkers to know there are no additional known incidents at this time. There are no additional known activities. We will wait for a fuller investigation, of course, by the NYPD and the MTA police and Port Authority police and FBI. But at this point in time, all we know of is one individual who, thank God, was unsuccessful in his aims. There are also no credible and specific threats against New York City at this time. But we will give you more information, of course, as the investigation unfolds. The first responders responded brilliantly. Now the mission of the NYPD is to secure all major transit hubs and major sites in this city. So you'll see expanded NYPD presence today all over the city. New Yorkers have come to understand when you see our specialized forces, when you see those long guns and those highly trained officers, that's something that should be reassuring to you. It means NYPD is on full alert and out in force, and that means you're safe. Finally, want to say, the governor invoked that phrase, we can't say it enough times, When you see something, say something. This is the difference maker. We've seen it time and again. When an everyday New Yorker sees something that doesn't make sense, hears something, sees a package, gets a feeling that something's wrong, don't hold it to yourself. Tell a police officer. They are the ones who can take the information and act on it. It's so important to speak up because you could be saving many lives by doing so. I'll finish by saying this. This is the most resilient place on earth. We've proven it time and time again. We proved it just over a month ago. We proved it on 9/11. We're going to prove it again today. The terrorists will not win. We're going to keep being New Yorkers. Let's get back to work. Thank you.
All right, these are the preliminary facts. So it just happened a couple hours ago, so you have to understand these are preliminary facts.
Engine 309.
Approximately 7:20 in a below-ground walkway,
309.
which connects the
Report to
IND
5-8
line
battalion
at 42
on
and
scene.
8th Avenue with the IRT line at
309,
42 and 7.
We're going to allow the
And that's the shuttle
157.
at Times Square and the 1, 2, and 3 train.
57.
Police were called to a
Report to the
reported
5-8
explosion.
battalion on scene.
Responding units found an injured 27-year-old male. We've identified him
09,
as
45 hours,
Ayed
dispatch
Ullah,
280.
AKAYED ULLAH. He had burns and wounds to his body. Preliminary
All
investigation at
units
the
in
scene
the borough
indicates
Brooklyn
this
stand
male
by
was wearing an improvised
for mix-off message
low-tech
unless urgent.
explosive device attached to his body.
33.
Intentionally detonated that device.
Time is
Looks like
09,
there were
4
three other
hours,
people in the
dispatch
immediate
27.
area also sustained minor injuries, but Dan Nigro is going to talk about that. The subject was placed in custody and transported to Bellevue Hospital. Immediate police response to the scene included members of the Transit Bureau, Emergency Service Division, Bomb Squad, Counterterrorism, MTA Police, State Troopers, and the FBI's Joint Terrorist Task Force. In addition, the NYPD Strategic Response Group and Critical Response Command
All right, the time
were
is
assigned to other
09:44
key
hours. This
transportation
concludes
hubs
the
and
mix-off
other
message.
locations throughout the city as a precautionary measure. This incident was captured on transit system video. A further review and interview of witnesses is underway. A thorough background investigation into Ayed Ullah is being conducted by the Joint Terrorist Task Force. We are asking anyone who may have any information about this individual or incident to call the terror hotline, and that's 888 NYC SAFE. Just as the governor said, and as the mayor said, we are New Yorkers. We don't live in fear. If you see something that doesn't look right,
At box 164, we're using one engine, 2 trucks, checking out an odor on the upper floors.
Dan Nigro is going to talk about the incident.
0946 hours, dispatcher 280.
Thank you, Jim. As the police commissioner mentioned, the perpetrator detonated the device. It caused burns to the hands and the abdomen, also lacerations. Our EMS personnel removed the perpetrator to Bellevue Hospital, where they're being treated
Negative,
now.
not this moment.
3 other people that were in proximity of the
0947
explosion removed
hours,
themselves.
dispatcher 280.
2 of them took themselves to Mount Sinai West, 1 to Mount Sinai Queens, all with minor injuries that are consistent with being in the area of the explosion, that is ringing in the ears and headache. So we have 3 minor injuries to people that were in that corridor and serious injuries to the perpetrator. That's it at this time.
Thank you. As the commissioners have both said, and the mayor and the governor both said earlier this morning, we received an alert of the explosion that happened in the tunnel, and immediately the MTA and the transit authority shut down the lines on the 8th Avenue line, the A, the C, the E. Many of them were rerouted. I will tell you right now, they're all back. The only disruption we have right now is that on both the 7th Avenue line as well as the 8th Avenue line, we're bypassing Times Square 42nd Street corridor, and also the shuttle between Grand Central and Times Square is currently shut down. We expect it to be back up and normal by this evening's rush hour. I do want to also state that on November 6th, just a month or so ago, we had a tabletop exercise with the NYPD to coordinate our efforts in the event that something like this ever happened. And the result of that was today, in less than 2 hours, we are back totally up to speed in getting our passengers around. I want to especially thank not only the NYPD, but also our passengers and our customers for their patience. Thank you.
Take some questions.
Is there any history?
The question is did the subject utter anything before he detonated the device? Part of the investigation.
Time 0948, section 370.
164. Again, it just came over off the 1091. You want me to respond back there?
It's been upgraded to an arrest
The
case.
question is that transit seems to be in a parent target. Listen, we have almost
Time is 09, 48 hours, dispatch to 70.
System every day. We have the strategic response group. We have the critical response command. All parts of the system are patrolled. Yes.
0949 hours, dispatch 341.
A little more about the device.
Responding 1515.
What does he look like he's doing? Does he look like he's waiting for a flash?
Out of 122K.
What is he doing?
All right, the question was, what does the device look like, and what was the subject doing?
We're going to line of 122K.
John Miller can talk about that.
Line of 147.
Without getting into too many specifics, the device is based on a
Line of 147 responding, Jay.
Fixed to his
M4.
person with
09, 50 hours,
of
dispatch 280.
Velcro and zip ties. The bomb squad is in the process now, along with the FBI special agent bomb technicians, of processing that crime scene with others. They're going to gather up those pieces, and we'll have a better idea of what the device was put together with and what was inside it.
John, any history?
Crime here, Box 7503, Terminal 4, 2525, Newtown Avenue, Crest Street, 27th Street, for an automatic alarm. Class 3, Box 7503, Terminal 4,
Hold on, one at a time. Hold on,
Avenue,
Juliet.
between Crest Street and 27th Street, for an automatic alarm. Units responding as Box
That's
7502,
the
provided
question is,
1012,
did he detonate it himself?
once again,
In
units
the video, you see
responding
him
as
walking down the
7502,
corridor.
provided
That's part of the
1012,
investigation. We don't know that to be a fact just yet. Right behind Juliet. We're working on that right now. Yeah, right here.
0950 hours, that's 341.
More now, and we've gone years and years and years in New York since 9/11 with nothing, and now
273.
we are seeing ones. Is there
8358.
There have been incidents, starting with 9/11, but I'll let John talk about that.
EMS
Sure.
84, no need for the baton
So,
continuing.
as you all know, since
10-12-5-3.
the World Trade Center bombing of 1993, and well before that,
5-3,
New York
10-45,
City, as the
3B, 10-8,
media
thank you.
capital of the world, has been a target of
1018-8358,
terrorist attacks in the past.
1018-8358,
There
for
was the World
1036
Trade Center
code 3,
bombing of
regular
1993,
273.
the 9/11 attacks, and
0951 hours, that's
in the
341.
course of post 9/11 world, as you're aware, there's also been approximately 26 plots that we can talk about that have been prevented through intelligence, investigation, and interdiction. As you know, there was the Times Square bombing, which failed to detonate. There was the Chelsea bombing from September 17th of 16. And
Can you put us 1084 box 3868? We're operating here.
an immense effort that is put into
By one
this
break,
by
we're shorty 84.
the FBI, the NYPD, our
10-4.
intelligence and counterterrorism people, and everybody
09,
else.
52 hours,
It's
dispatcher
an all-hands
280.
effort. We have prevented a significant
5-2.
number of plots, a significant number of attacks.
5-2
but
remain in service.
This is a fact of life, whether you're New York or London or Paris.
57 Signal Box 6998, Northern Boulevard and 150 Place for a call fire.
All right, hold on. Right here.
4. We have smoke seeping from a transformer box.
The question is, did
We're
he
just checking explosions
connection to
at
ISIS?
this
He
time.
did make statements, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Right behind you. Hold on, right behind you.
Okay. Time is 09, 52 hours, dispatch 270.
It's at 42 and 8. He's walking eastbound to 42 and 7. So it's from this corner to Times Square underneath. If you've taken the subway, you know what the passageway I'm talking about. All right, hold on. In the back? Yeah.
The subway system of this size runs 24 hours, 7 days a week. I know you say you've got it all covered, but how can you possibly have it covered given it's
4-4 active 5-8.
All right, the question is the size of the subway system is
Carrier,
massive. How can we have that how can we have that
first
system
alarm
covered?
district.
Listen, this is going to take the 6 million people that ride the train every day. It's going to take everybody to have their eyes open, pay attention to what's going on. If you see something that makes you uncomfortable, make that phone call or talk to a cop. Give us a chance to investigate. In the back. We don't know. The question is, was it intentional, the spot where he detonated the explosive device? We don't know that yet. Right here, Miles.
All right, 10-4. 954, dispatch 232.
Yeah, we're not going to. The question is that are we at different locations?
Box 248, Boston Avenue, 147-55,
in Brooklyn.
175 Street,
I'm not going to go into that right now. This is part of what we do. We're investigating his background now to see what addresses he have, and we'll fully investigate him in the locations where he lives. All right. Listen, we're going to come back to you later on with some more information. Thank you very much. Thanks.
0954 hours 5341.
Stevie.
What's up?
Rescue 1.
Alright guys.
77163.
Sidewalk, please.
That far, Rescue 1.
Steps on this side, you can go on the sidewalk on 8. That's no problem. You just gotta clear the street. Yeah, obviously grab your gear. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm 1954, dispatch 370.
We're calling box 1213 for the location. 8 Avenue and 11 Street, auto gassing area. Dispatch 288.
The MTA head says he hopes to have everything back up and running again by this evening's rush.
But the takeaway here from the mayor, the governor, the commissioner, no credible threat at this time. The NYPD is on full alert. This was an attempted terrorist attack. The suspect, one of 4 people, as you just mentioned, injured. We do have a team of reporters who have been there on the scene. We want to send it out live now to Eyewitness News reporter Derek Waller, who is on the scene. Derek.
Hey, Charlene, good morning to you. Obviously, the headline this morning that was a intentional terrorist attack, according to Mayor de Blasio. That just wrapped up a few minutes ago behind me. I want to show you a little bit of the scene right here, where there's still an intense security presence. We have, obviously, the K-9 units out here, FBI, state and federal authorities, local authorities. This 8th Avenue continues to be closed to traffic, though they just opened it back up to some pedestrian traffic. So that is an update now. I want to show you, though, they mentioned in the press conference exactly where this happened. This is 42nd Street and 8th Avenue. It was underneath in that tunnel between 42nd and 8th Avenue and then 7th Avenue. If anyone's ever transferred from an ACE line over to like a 123 train, you've walked through that tunnel to give you an idea of exactly where that attempted attack happened this morning. But again, the scene right now, the street is open to pedestrian traffic, as you can see, but an intense security presence remains out here outside the Port Authority bus terminal on 8th Avenue, where we are just allowed to move over to a few minutes ago. So I know that buses are supposed to start coming back through here very shortly, but that is the latest here. Shirley, I'm going to send it back to you for now.
All right, thank you for that, Derek. The very latest there. This again happening at 7:20 this morning. A low-tech device, as Governor Cuomo called it, went off. The injuries, fortunately, were minor, except for the suspect, Akayed Ullah, 27 years old, lives in Brooklyn, came from Bangladesh 7 years ago. Obviously, police have a lot of questions for this man, but how they handled this situation was extraordinary. But obviously, this has caused a lot of disruptions on the commute, train and bus service. We're all waiting for that to be restored.
Yeah, again, and you mentioned it, the police commissioner just talking about the fantastic job that the NYPD and the Port Authority Police Department responding so quickly to this incident happening at the height of the rush hour, one of the busiest areas in New York City at 7:20 in the morning, below ground, a walkway between 42nd, 8th Avenue, 42nd and 7th, a low-grade pipe bomb of some sort that he had put together, and he had the police are saying, had intentionally detonated with the idea of harming. They're calling this, without holding back, a terror attack at this time.
We will, of course, keep you updated on this breaking story, because obviously this is going to be a ripple effect for the rest of the day in terms of those people who are trying to get out of the city. Anybody attempting to even get into the city right now, it's probably not the best move, just with how shut down the entire city is as a result of this. So best advice to give you: stay at home if you have that opportunity, if you have that choice to do so, because the city is a rough place to try to get into at this time.
But they are remaining optimistic. MTA chairman saying he hopes to have everything back up and running at the Port Authority by the evening rush. Of course, we will continue to give you updates throughout the day. And ABC7 NY, that's the best place when we're not on the air, that you can continue to check to see what is the latest in terms of the openings and the street closures that are out there. I'm David Navarro. Continue to watch us on Eyewitness News, first at 4 and at noon, of course.
315. Ladder 4.
We're 10-8, East Center, relocating home.
10-4, ladder 4.
You can't make it up, right?
Go 10-8, 10-31. 5-0. Oh, you're going to go 10-8. The engine. It's engine 298.
You know, we haven't really had something quite.
Your box is also 1031. Just go 10-8. Unit call in Queens. 292. Alright, 10-4. Other unit call in Queens.
Mike, could you just make sure PT is assigned to this box, please?
That 422 readings outside.
10-4.
clues, figuring out exactly who this suspect was and what his motive was. Meanwhile, we're seeing a sea of thousands of commuters who are now having to get to their morning locations by foot because bus and train service has been suspended here in Times Square. Savannah? Thank you.
And 201 to Brooklyn. 201. And 4804 East Avenue.
111 Beekman Place. The dead end of Flatbush. Reporting fumes with a person sick on the third floor. Phone on 1088 2111 Beekman Place. Flatbush Avenue to the dead end. Reporting fumes with a person sick on the third floor. Hey.
1018 2484, 1018 2484, 1031 by the way, County Box 105 hours, back to 341.
Telephone alarm box 2293. The address is 97 Easternia Avenue. That's on Danila Avenue in the dead end. Reporting current fires in the private lot.
Gary, what's the news? Box engine 96. Engine 96. Alright, call the report and smoke now in their base.
Live now.
Guys, do me a favor, shoot me over for a little bit. Guys, come back in a minute. Go, guys.
What are we up to now? I've got it.
if I can get it back. I think even one in the center would be tight.
Guys, make a hole. Coming out.
Yeah, I think we should be fine for that. Time is it right now? Okay, that's fine. Shoot for 10:30. Right much longer than down. These guys are going to open up these afternoon. This is a big road. It's like shut down at 5. Okay? So, like, we might not be able to be around this. Okay, fine. Sounds great. All right.
Get this here shot for us.
Might not like us too much. We have to make an exit for the cars coming in. All right? So you got to scoot in this way. We're going to put the barriers over here. So look, we can leave it open. We can open this up so they know where it's coming.
Just tie
Right. All right. I got it.
Yeah, we're going to be pulling any trucks that they got to get out. It's going to be coming to the center. Well, Tommy, if I need a little bit more time with this vehicle,
Slide it where?
just a little more towards
Now look, if we swing this open, right there. This is going to be open.
Yeah, but this is causing the weight. There's got to be.
So look, guys, I'm going to open this up. As I can. Thank you. You got to move that bag.
Yeah, the only problem is coming. This goes here. Yeah. She's going to have to be close to you.
Don't set up over here because the cars, we're going to try to have the cars come through over here. Can't get them now, but if you see a car come, yeah, can you hear me?
Wiping it clean, I believe, if they kind of broke into it and they wanted Apple to help. And
Deputy Attorney General in some recent commentary where we hear them raising it as a pressing concern, not just for the FBI, but for all of law enforcement. If you're talking about thousands of devices that the FBI can't get into, multiply that out exponentially for law enforcement that does not have the technical wherewithal or the contacts with the tech companies to try to enter these devices. So I think that battle is coming. We don't know today how it's going to play out. There's like many other things in our country, we have, there's the national conversation on whatever. This is going to have to be somewhat of a national conversation on tech and on security and on encryption. And I don't think the conversation is effectively moving forward. It seems like it's stalemated with law enforcement trying to pick the ideal case. Perhaps this one today will be that case. And the tech companies essentially doing nothing because they're not being pushed. They're not being pushed hard. And so today there is no answer other than law enforcement is blocked from seeing that which they can lawfully see.
all right, Ron, thank you so much. Hang on. Paul, I want to get your take on what Ron had to say, but we're going to take a quick break first. We are covering essentially a terrorist attack that reportedly here in New York. Bomb explosion in the pedestrian walkway. A suspect is in custody after injuring himself with that bomb. 3 others injured, only minor injuries there. We're learning more about the suspect. We're learning more about what inspired him, and we're going to keep you posted and keep you up to speed for streaming CBSN.
Sir, just on the other side. To get me on this side.
Okay, have her come here and then let us through.
Buddy, I mean, they can always. Listen, you can't be in this area, so keep me.
Right by Ambient. Come down to 43rd and 8. What? 8th Avenue and 43rd. No, but this is just we gotta put it on the other side of this barrier. This is the limit right here. Get it in there. Good.
Watch yourself.
All right, clear the way.
I think we're onto something. This is going to be it right here. Sam! Hello, are you coming? Going to get batteries. Buddy,
Listen, they're not going to let us do it now.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you, sir. I know. Thank you, sir. Your position is shown off because you know. Okay, I got it. Say something, please.
Check 1, check 2.
Okay.
15 minutes or so.
You're doing it good? You just said you're going to hit 6 minutes. Sam, you here?
last thing I expect on Monday morning. Right?
It's great balance. The reason why I'm looking off my
Check 1 2 3. Check 1 2 3. Check check check. And good. All right. Do you need me to turn my mic down? You're having a problem. Gary's doing it right now.
It's a chopper.
There would be a helicopter.
Let me explain something to you. First, let me talk to you. You see this is shut down here, right? You see anybody else?
You want to put your hand close to your mouth?
Okay, you can't hear. You got hands up for 40.
Okay, good.
Down around.
It's okay now?
I think he said it sounds good.
It's not good. It's
Yeah, give me some light. There you go. Check it. So you know what Charles said to me on the phone today? He goes, we have to explain to them what that is. Because they don't know it's like an underground city. You know? Like, they don't know what a subway is. They never even been to some talk. You know what I mean? I take it like every day, like 3 times.
okay.
We don't know.
tight.
Yeah. Yeah, you can ask some questions, but please, information is limited. Outside of the Port Authority in between 42nd and 53rd Avenue on 8th Avenue in Manhattan. This is a very busy street. The scene has calmed down a little bit since this morning, when earlier reports around 7:30 a.m. indicated that there had been a pipe bomb detonated. Be advised, I am going to have to step out of the way here for some traffic. The officer right here is doing a great job. There's a lot of media out here. This is a very, very big hub for commuters and tourists in general. If you look behind me down the street here, the Port Authority actually is an underground city. So you have restaurants, shops, people coming in with trains, buses from New Jersey, and subways going all up and down the west side of Manhattan. So this morning, things definitely chaotic for commuters as they're just trying to get to work on a Monday morning, and then all of a sudden, an ISIS-inspired attack happens, and the NYPD comes in full force. We are hearing it was an ISIS-inspired attack. There were some statements uttered before the device had detonated, and what he said was not known. It's not been stated publicly yet. I believe police are investigating him and probably going to his residence in Brooklyn, I believe is where we heard the gentleman was from. He's 27-year-old Bangladeshi national who's been in the country about 7 years. But we do at this time believe it was an ISIS-inspired attack. Well, the details are still coming out right now, but it was apparent that it was a small, about 5-inch pipe bomb in the gentleman's jacket, and it did go off prematurely. Now, from the initial reports that we're hearing here on the ground, it went off in a not very populated area of the station here. Now, if you're familiar with, let's say, an NFL-style game, people just, in masses moving down the tunnel. There's a tunnel that connects Times Square with the Port Authority. At any given moment, thousands of people can be in that tunnel rushing to get to wherever they need to go. What we heard was the device went off early before it was around a lot of people. So, indeed, I believe it was 4 injured, including the bomber himself. But also, it could have been a lot worse. Thank you.
Good job, Chris.
Good? Okay, good. I couldn't really tell her third question. It's still like the audio is kind of, I can hear, but it's just You know what I mean? When you go down like the next station, the trains are still I don't think anything's coming. So, because you wanted to do the stand up right now? Last I heard. I can't believe that car was coming right into the back. He's got stripes.
I got some phoners.
Want to go to a different place? Okay.
Thanks, man.
Officer. Hey,
Officer, thank you so much.
Thanks for not messing up that live shot. We were all good. We were all good. I was like, this guy knows what he's doing.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I know you don't care, but I'm looking at you. Yeah. My personal phone actually has a better camera. Yeah. I know, when you choose stuff online, it compresses it, it looks good. I have a little DSLR. I have a DSLR. I shoot for fun. Do you want to take up this?
We're not getting yelled at. This is good. Well, so you want to do it? You want to move, or you want to just do the shot here? Okay.
Let's see if we can go like the other side and see that. Where did it happen actually? That's my question. Like, that side to go to that side. This.
Yeah, no.
There's no rush.
Yeah, no rush.
Yeah. All I'm saying is try to get to close to this one way. Just do it right there. If you're like, I go to open it up.
Hey, bud. Are they taking your cam live? Because if they like don't let me watch it.
Oh, no, it's fine. The correspondent's not here.
Okay, I can't tell. I'm looking at your tally, and I'm like,
see her jump in.
Okay.
She's staying warm.
Gotcha. Typically.
I'll give you my spot.
In the coffee.
I'll give you my spot.
No problem. Thank you. Where do you guys work at? 30 Rock? No, no action going on there.
You're going to stand here. Anybody takes it.
Okay, thank you, Dominic. Thanks.
Chris.